defence industry in South Australia is really strong. You know, you've got the pool of talented people from which you can draw. We have the industry base here also in terms of suppliers, but from a startup standpoint, it's probably more accessible. The cost of living in Adelaide is not as high as perhaps Sydney and Melbourne, and so I guess from a personal standpoint, in terms of the ability to take that risk and start a new company, it was achievable here. I think had we been in Sydney, for instance, with an extremely high mortgage, that might have been a much more difficult proposition. Silentium was co-founded by Simon Palumbo and myself. We both worked at DSTO, then DST Group. What we're developing is a technology, or commercialising I should say, is a technology called passive radar. So passive radar is like regular radar in that it tells you what's happening in terms of things moving around you in your environment, but it's a little bit different. A regular radar works by sending out a blast of our radio frequency energy and listening for the echoes that come back. Passive radar doesn't send out that blast of energy, it actually listens to what's already in the environment, so things like broadcast radio, broadcast television. They act like big floodlights for our system, and they floodlight everything in the scene. We listen to the signal that comes direct from those transmitters, and we listen to everything that has bounced that signal back off towards our receiver in the environment. And from that we build a picture that shows how things are moving around us. And that means we don't have the challenges that can come with active radar or regular radar, in that we don't have to worry about a radio spectrum license, we don't have to worry about a radiation hazard, because our system is completely passive and receive only.
So James and I were coming out of DST Group as really just researchers, and we didn't have that commercialisation or business development skills. And when going into the On Accelerate program, it gave us, I guess, the expertise in business model development, customer understanding, the sort of lean launchpad techniques and the value proposition, and like really honing in on that and actually developing our skill sets to then really take our technology and our business to the next level in commercialisation.
We set out to commercialise this technology to have impact, and that means actually getting it across the line, getting it into people's hands to achieve that impact.